You are listening to the Ebony Covering Black America Podcast Network. You are listening to the Ebony.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Two Gems and a Mic. I'm Linda L.D. Dorsey along with my girl, Tanisha the Diva Mahomes. What's up, Nisha?
Hey, let's get it. I mean, this week has been off the chain, and I am so happy to give you guys a scoop. Let's go.
All right, we're going to start off. We're going to jump right into the WAV Championship. The Aces close it out with the win against Connecticut. In Connecticut, loved it. Loved this entire series. Loved the playoffs. It was a tough series. But I think Chelsea Gray, and deservingly so, she got the MVP, was the key to that series.
Absolutely, she did. She deserved it. I don't think that's really up for the debate. I mean, it doesn't take away from what the other players did, but I think hands down, when you look back over the whole entire series, she was the person that made the most difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, and not just with the stats that are shown, but just with that presence on the court, because she was a threat. They knew she was a threat, but you ain't gonna take nothing. Of course, we aren't taking anything away from Wilson, Plum, and Williams. And I mean, Williams was amazing off the bench in that last one, coming off with 17 points. And Becky Hammond said she didn't want to be a starter. She started at the beginning of the season. She didn't want to be a starter. She wanted to come off the bench, as she did in LA.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because that reminds me of old boy and for the with Curry and them. You know, sometimes you know your role and you know what motivation. Sometimes you just need to come out and you need to hit that shot, and you have to be honest with yourself as a player. Do I start better when I'm coming off the bench and I know that they need me to come out there and drop something, or does it take me a little bit longer to get in my flow? So yeah, I'm happy that she recognizes her role and was able to dominate in the way she was. I mean, off the bench, come on now, that's rough.
She played
bench
amazing.
Players dropping like that. It's hard to win.
And Becky Hammond, she showed why she's coach of the year. Asia definitely showed why she was the defensive player of the year and MVP. The one thing that got me watching all of this, and Connecticut went on and on. Why? I mean, they got the most playoff wins in WNBA history, and can't get over that hump. I don't know, what's going on there. Is it the coach? Is it the players? I mean, they're emotional players. They're physical. They're this. Do they focus on that so much and lose focus on playing the game? I don't know what it is.
I don't either, but it's not surprising, because like often, sometimes you see that team and you like, well, what is wrong? What's wrong? That, to me, they're the professional version of that team you see when you growing up, and you like, man, they got everybody. I don't know how they lost to so-and-so. They are the professional version of that, and they got to figure out what they need to do, whether it's the coach. I don't know if they're not motivated, whatever it is. They're the professional version of that little team that you always see when you growing up, and you like, man, they got everybody. How did they lose? Sort of like the NLV, the Louisville when they lost, and you like, how did they lose? They had everybody. Sometimes it just go down that way, and you can't figure out what it is.
But it's been going down that way for that's happened 4 years. I mean, I don't know. We'll figure out what it is. I think Candace Parker may get the last word in this without saying a single thing. Connecticut, like, they were bragging the fact that they beat her 3 out of 4 times, but she has rings and they don't.
They absolutely, she got that ring and they don't have one. So I don't give a crap what you're talking about. If I can show my bling and you can't, problem solved.
Yeah, and she got one in LA, and she then turned around and got one when she went to Chicago. But it leads me to a couple of things, and I ain't gonna harp on it too much. But the Sparks the LA Sparks. Now I'm gonna jump to the LA Sparks. They need to take a relook at what they are doing. And I think they've cleaned house or looking for new coaches. But you let Candace Parker go, you let Gray go, and you let Williams go. All of them managed to go and lead teams or assist teams to get championships elsewhere. That's coaching. That's coaching, because you still had the Bumake twins that way. And you had a stacked team in LA. It's like, why can't we get it together? Because of Derek Fisher. But story for another time. But I do want to give a shout out to kudos to the Aces owner Mark Davis for investing and believing in this team.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
If we could get more owners and stuff like that, I mean, you got Jerry Jones in Dallas. I know you got some money to give to the Dallas Wings. If you support these teams,
Spend a
your
little
players support
change.
them. Yeah, yeah. And
Spend a little
he got
change.
that front office right. The front office with Natalie Williams, she's the
Mm-hmm.
GM, Mickey Fargasio, and Jennifer Azzi. These are basketball minds. They know what they're doing. They put that together because I think, and this is not a knock on Bill Laimbeer because he got his championships in Detroit, but I don't think Bill Laimbeer knew what to do with that team. And they got over the hump. They believed in Becky. Becky believed in them. And I say, well, to the NBA teams that didn't look at Becky Hammond because there's some of them out there that can use her. So
Absolutely. That, and I'm glad you said that, because my whole thing is, this is a woman who won a championship, in the D League, and then you come over here and then you turn around and then you win a championship in the WNBA. And is it up for discussion if this woman is a good coach?
yeah,
We
I
got
don't think.
males and I mean, let's be honest. Sometimes, when a person is bumping their head on the ceiling, somebody got to open up their mouth and let them through.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Becky Hammond never should have had to come to the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? But she did. She clearly is worth the money they paid her. And now let's see if somebody in their right mind in the
I don't
NBA
think,
says,
and I think Becky's found her home. I don't know, and I can't speak
you
for
don't think she
her.
gonna
I
go?
don't know if she would go to the NBA. I think because it's like, you know what, y'all had your opportunity. Now I'm here. I've got that name. I've got that talent. I've got that coaching experience, and I could
Mhm.
leave it here and help grow this game, help grow this league, the WNBA. I think she's good for the WNBA. I think she would have been great for the NBA, but they blew the chance. And she said it in a conversation. If her name were Brian, she had played
Mhm.
16 years in the NBA,
Mhm.
assistant coach on multiple teams. She said she would have been fired and rehired as a head NBA coach. And
But
it's the absolute truth.
But you know what? I do kind of believe, like you do, that she's find her home here. But I, I'm not saying that no one else could have done it. But man, if it's a candidate to go, and we gonna pop that off. I mean, in the NBA. I mean, I would love to see her, but not with some bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Not Don't bring her in with a team that sucked. Bring her in with a
Take
team.
her to the Nets. She had more
That's what I'm
experience than
saying.
Steve Nash.
Then
Take
Steve
her to the
Nash.
Nets.
And hell,
I
you
think
got
they would have had more respect for her than they do, for him, because they obviously
yeah.
don't have any, but nobody wants to take that chance. I mean, you got people like Teaspoon sitting on benches, you got other players, Christy Tolliver. It's a lot of
Yeah.
players that are women sitting on benches, but I don't, and I love Teaspoon. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if Teaspoon, because she didn't have that tutelage that Becky
Of
had under
that
Pop
from on the Pop.
to
That's what I'm
learn
saying.
that
That's
and
the
get
only
let loose to
difference.
run a G League. But yeah, knowing the X's and the O's because they played together, and I think they
Yeah.
have mad respect for each other. But
Yeah, I mean, Spoon's adequate, but there's something about when you get that tutelage under somebody like that that's won championship. I mean, you can't overlook that. So yeah,
no,
you're right about that.
you
Yeah,
definitely can't. So kudos, shout out, Aces, you earned it. Happy to
absolutely.
see it. I gotta say I was biased. I was kind of pulling for him. Asia now has what, high school, college, professional championships and a Olympic medal. So
That sounds like Hall of Fame to me.
yeah, she going in. She going in. She stay healthy and play. She going in. So kudos to them. We're gonna take a quick break, and the reason we need to take a break is because we got a lot of NFL
And
stuff to break down week 2. We will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. So this segment we're gonna talk all NFL, and I'm gonna tell you what, Tanisha, I know I'm gonna have to reel you in because I know you're passionate about it. We was on the
what?
phone all day Sunday going through the games or whatever, but let's just jump off with the NFL highlights. Let's talk about the highlights.
Well, let's start off with Tua. What? Man, listen. A lot of people always, is the Chiefs gonna miss Tyreek? Hell yeah, they gonna miss him. Like, here's the deal. Tua has Waddle and Tyreek, and he turns it up to the highest level of levelstivity. I'm just gonna make up a word. Really, to go out there and beat those Ravens. And when I tell you that I love me some Lamar Jackson, and Lamar did all that he could possibly do, the man that ran for over 100, he done dropped all kinds of touchdowns on them, and they still can't win. But when you got that cheetah out there running by people like they standing still, and actually, Tua, he's taking a lot of heat. But I'm gonna tell you, Tua has a chance now to prove all his naysayers wrong. I was happy that Tua had a good game. I love that. I love you. We're athletes. We love when another athlete steps up to a challenge. We hadn't seen a comeback like that in I don't know how damn long. And let me tell you, I'm not denying Tua his just. That dude did what he needed to do. He had it. He's hitting his receivers, and that's a problem for the AFC. That's a problem. Do not get it twisted.
I think
They
it's a
look good.
problem. Yeah,
They
they
look
look
good.
good, but I'm and taking nothing away from him because he played a fantastic game. He played focused, got the yards, got to hit his receivers. I think the Ravens, on the other hand, they played horrible defense. Now he's going to go up against the Bills
Oh hell
defense
yeah.
next week, so we're going to talk about that game coming up. I'm not expecting, and nobody is expecting 6 touchdowns or whatever per game from Tua. But yes, for this week, let's give him his props. So
the Bills won't be stupid. They won't play man to man. That's straight tomfoolery. What are you
yeah,
playing man to man on Tyreek for?
they never have, and they didn't when he was with the Chiefs, so they're not going
That
to do it this time either. So,
Yeah, so I mean, that was dumb. I mean,
but
it was a defensive. The Ravens look atrocious on defense, but still, you still got to put it in the same. You still got to get those guys the ball. And so I'm not going to take away from Tua because Tua still has to make those plays, and some of them weren't just him standing still wide
oh
open. He had to
no,
maneuver to get them. So
he played. Like I said,
he played a great game. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give him his props.
I don't take anything away from him. I was just surprised at the Ravens. You're at home. The way you started the game off, you got that touchdown on the run back, the opening kickoff. You're at home, beautiful day here in Baltimore, whatever, and you just I don't know what happened. They went to sleep. But with that being said, I ain't taking nothing away from Lamar Jackson because, like we said,
Hell
he can't
no.
play defense.
The
He can't
price
play
from
defense.
yesterday is not the price today. The Ravens done screwed up. This man is out on a mission. I mean, you out here doing, man, come on. It's gonna cost them. They done messed up. They should have signed him when they could have. Now it's gonna cost them a guap.
Yep.
As we like to say in the country, a straight guap.
Yeah.
And he gonna get his money. He gonna get his
went
money.
Out there, he did everything that you could possibly ask of them. I'm always one to say, take the points when you can. Had they kicked that field goal, maybe a different game. Who knows? But, it didn't happen. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Don't take nothing away from how Miami performed, and it takes nothing away from how Lamar and the offense performed. But the defense, yeah, I'm still.
You're not winning when both receivers are over 100 yards
and 2 touchdowns apiece. That's crazy.
That's
all
not
right. Let's move on to the Bills on Monday night playing the Titans. Is it all the Bills or my boys won last week against the Titans. I don't know what's going on with the Titans.
Well, you know what I told you. I said I'm trying to figure out who the hell on the Titans decided that AJ Brown and Corey Davis weren't important. Who made that decision?
I don't know.
Okay, so to me, they committed to losing. They decided I'm being honest. They committed to losing. We're gonna go young. We think we're going to go young. We saw what they have to offer. We think we can go with these young bucks with Garrett Wilson, which I think is a complete stud, and Burks. This is Burks, Trey Burks.
Yeah,
we're going to go young. We're going to go young. So lose. This is the
rebuild.
All Titan fans don't think y'all winning. This is a season where y'all get to lose, and then you rebuild and you see you have a future. That's what they did to y'all. So don't think y'all winning.
To me, it was just a low light for. The Bills played good. The Bills played. Josh Allen looks good. He looks really good. He's comfortable. His running, his passing, him and Diggs connecting. That's dangerous. So you got to watch out for that. They got a couple of injuries. Gabe Davis wasn't even in the game, so think about that.
Dude, who you telling? And that's a monster.
Yeah,
he's a lightweight monster on the rise, and he wasn't even playing like that. And here's the deal: him and Diggs, I don't know if they hung out together. They're playing hopscotch. I don't know what's going on, but they on point, and that's trouble.
Yeah, so I look
I
forward to that, and we'll come back to that matchup with them in Miami next week. Let's
mm-hmm.
let's let's talk about Philly. Philly looked good. Philly Philly played, the Vikings. So I had the Vikings winning that division. I don't know, but after the other night, they're not going to play like that.
Let me be clear. There's one thing that I saw, and let me tell you, I have Jefferson on every team I can get him on. If I could get him on 10 more, I would. Jefferson made a few mistakes. He let Darius Slay
Darius Slay.
undercut him. And whenever that's a cardinal rule. You can't do that. And those are mistakes that a young receiver, and this is a stud. This is a dude is a top receiver of the league. Nobody denies that. He's still got the things that he needs to learn. And a veteran like Slay took advantage of some of the things that he saw. I've watched Slay many times, and he's a film study type guy. He saw some loopholes, he saw some things, and he took advantage of it. And even Aikman was talking about it's a couple moves that Jefferson made that those interceptions shouldn't have really been interceptions because he was doing some wrong route running, and I saw it as well.
I agree with that, but it was like Cousins kept trying to force the ball to him. So it was almost like everybody knew Cousins was going to him. When he was throwing the ball to Thielen was catching the ball. So why are you still going to that? Where's your tight end? Like, it was like everything. Cousins didn't look good to me, and they was all over him. He did not look good at all. And the secondary of Philly looked really good. My concern with Philly is they looked great in the first half. They scored 0 in the second half. And Jalen Hurts said it after the game. You can't do that. They had the same thing happen against Detroit. They were busting them up, and all of a sudden Detroit lost the game by a point or 3 points. Yeah. You can't do that. You got to be consistent through the entire game, and they were not. So they gave up.
I want you to go back and look at that tape though and tell me that there isn't a couple of routes where Jefferson is running and he runs on the outside.
Oh, no, I saw it. I watched the game. I saw that, but I'm saying why are you still forcing the ball to him? Even in the end zone, it's like the route. I mean, Slate
you
went
got
up and got the ball, but that wasn't it. Yeah, you got other people. You were looking at him the whole time. They were not running the ball. They weren't doing anything. But like I said, going back on the other side of Philly is 2-0. But Philly has to realize you're not going to be 2-0 if you're not scoring second half points. It's 0 in the second half. So we're looking at
right
that.
now. But right now, they 2-0 and they tied with who?
My New York Giants.
I know you. I'm gonna let you have that moment.
Wait a minute. I gotta do it.
I'm gonna let you have it. Go and put it up. I know.
I don't know what let me put this around my neck so I feel better.
You should. You look cold. That look like that's gonna warm you up.
The Giants. Well, we're gonna talk about that.
But I got one question about that though. I want one question about that. What's up with Galladay?
Galladay, from what I understand, packed his locker up after the game and left early. Now, earlier in the week, the coach told him he wasn't going to start, so they started that dude Sills, right? Sills the 4th. Galladay had 2 snaps. He played 2 snaps. You paying that man $21 million this year, and you give him 2 snaps. I don't understand that. I don't know what's going on in the locker room or whatever. Galladay, to me, is still a good wide receiver. The problem is we have a quarterback who can't deliver the ball to wide receivers.
Thank you.
So
I do.
Kadarius Toney is a good wide receiver. He ain't getting it, but Kadarius Toney's attitude is different. Like they asked him last week and this week. What he said, I don't care. We winning games. I don't care. He just wants to win. When his time comes, his time will come. So we'll see, what happens with that. But
you can't go from being a proven Galladay and be happy with last year's production, and now you taking two snaps.
0 touchdowns last year.
If you don't need him, let him go.
Let him go. And that's quarterbacking. That's quarterbacking. That ain't nothing else but quarterbacking.
You're not gonna protect Jones up here and make Galladay look like he's useless. I'm not okay with that. But I'll let you have that moment. I'm gonna let you have it.
No. I mean, like I said, we 2-0, so I'll take it. I'm gonna say something about Detroit. I like Detroit this year.
You know how I feel about Goff. I think Goff got treated like a redhead stepchild for no reason.
Yeah.
And I told you that Goff is not as bad as everybody want to make him.
Oh no, I never
even
thought
last year. Even last year, I liked what golf was doing. They were competitive. They just couldn't get over a hump.
Right. Yeah, they
Now
were
we
in
get
games.
no.
I mean, what was that one game that they lost that let me put it on this way so you can
That's
really
how you
see it.
feel. That's how you
Yeah.
feel. No,
They
nobody need to
lost
see
that
that.
game when Justin Tucker hit a 60-something yard field goal with no time left. I mean, they losing games like that. So I'm liking them. I mean, Swift was running good. The receivers were catching stuff. That's a team that could mess up somebody's season.
Absolutely,
And
and I hope
everybody had
they
them at the
do.
bottom. Yeah,
And I
everybody
hope
had
they
them at the
do.
bottom.
I hope they do. I like the comeback kid. I would love for golf to mess up a whole lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
The way he been treated.
So, all right, we're gonna talk about some injuries, and then we're gonna go ahead and talk about the games next week. I don't think we take a break. We're just gonna keep.
Hell yeah, Trey
We're gonna
Lance.
keep. Yep.
How about that? That was horrible. It was horrible to see. This is a young guy. This is a guy that they paid good. They moved up many spots to get him. They knew they had a learning curve, but this is a guy that season ended after what? How many games?
2, 1.25. It wasn't
Yeah.
even a full quarter. I think he was out in the first quarter. It was, yeah. I hated to see him go, and then get hurt for your season to end like that. This is probably gonna sound crazy. I'd rather you just play, maybe perform poorly, and then learn from that, and then come back. But I hated to see him get hurt. But I'm gonna
But
tell you what. Go
he was
ahead.
gonna play. That I think that was the whole key. They knew that
Learn.
this was a learning year. But now you got a Garoppolo who the team loves, who really didn't want. They didn't want to. They didn't want to go through the learning curve. People who've been to a Super Bowl don't want to go through a learning curve.
No, they wanted to win, and I think that was one of the reasons we talked about it last week when we had
Hell yeah,
Darren on. We were saying they kept Garoppolo around for a reason.
absolutely.
Yeah, so that
Did
reason
you
was,
see that first touchdown?
and his
Did you see it?
teammates were excited.
Man, you saw that first touchdown. I thought that somebody was going to do a round off back handspring. I mean, it was just that serious. They were high fiving the lineman, everybody running. I was like, man, that's rough on Trey.
Yeah, it is.
That's rough
It
on
is.
Trey.
That is. You got to be thinking, damn, do they really even want me here? But that's, and let's talk about the stud. Your stud of the week.
Tua.
No, it's
That
related to
is my
injury.
stud of the week.
No, you got another stud.
Well, injury, Justin Herbert. I mean, come on, who we telling? I mean, this dude out here, he done ran out here, did a pirouette, and threw a touchdown with a rib injury. And I love me some just. First of all, let's be clear. I love true athletes. That dude is a stud. I don't give a damn what nobody say. But if I'm his coach, I'm sitting my stud down and I'm letting him heal properly. I don't want to see is them throw Justin Herbert out there to get killed like they did RG3, like Washington did RG3. Did let that man heal, understand what you have in that athlete, and say, hey, let me maybe this is not our year, maybe, but we gonna make sure we got our guy that's gonna give us 3, 4, 5 years down the line. Do not throw that man out there on the field to get a small smashing.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, he's not ready to go. That guy couldn't even breathe good, let alone run. And you gonna tell me 7 days is enough? No, don't do that to your guy.
I kept saying to myself, why is he still out there? Why is he still
It hurt
out
me
there?
to see it.
You had to have some. I mean, I know you want to win, and I know it was the Chiefs, and that thing was we gonna beat the Chiefs. And if they could have walked off the field and said we beat the Chiefs with an injured Justin, whatever. But when your ego and all that gets into it, I know him. He wanted to go back out there, but that one play when you saw where he couldn't even first when they hit him, he like crumbled up, and then when you saw him, he couldn't even run because in his mind he's probably like, I can't take another hit.
Take a hit.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
I might get to that line, but that's gonna be the last move I make because I can't take another hit. And like I said, Justin Herbert has an amazing future ahead of him. Please don't play that guy. Let that guy sit out a game, get healed up, get to a place where he can. Because I don't care what you say. These are professional athletes, and they are trying to sack the quarterback. I think if they run him out there, the Chargers are risking their future, and it's unnecessary.
I'm gonna jump around. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about week 2. So we got some highlights for week 2, right? Who you got? What are your highlights for week 2?
For week 2, give me the list. Throw my games, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Straight up.
So I'm gonna talk about. Let's start with. I can go into, and I'm messing up here because I'm really missing some stuff. So, okay, I got it. Let's talk about Miami versus Buffalo. Let's start there.
Okay, here it is. This is a true story. This is what I truly believe. Buffalo is the team to beat. I like everything I've seen about Buffalo because it's not one side. It's not the offense. It's the defense and the offense. It's a collective. They are the most sound all around team in my opinion. Straight up. Now, here's the problem with that. We've seen a team be the best team before, but when you got them speedsters like Waddle and Tyreek, if Tua has time to throw that ball, we might see an upset.
You think they're gonna give him time? I mean, you got people on that line that ain't gonna give him that kind of time.
You hear what I said? If Tua has time, I'm gonna go with the Bills for the win, but it's gonna be a much closer game than people think.
Okay.
Because Tyreek is a generational talent, and I know people throw that around, but show me somebody like that. This generation, that dude is a speedster on another level, and he's played the Bills before. He's played those guys. And I think it's going to be a little bit more tougher of the match. And I think that's really and truly, that's the game of the week to me.
To me, that definitely is a game of the week.
That's a game of the week.
I know I'm jumping all over with Darren. So, Darren, I'm sorry. Our producer, go ahead and stay with us. Darren Smith, we appreciate you. Miami, we talk about them. So, one that's near and dear to us, the Giants versus the Cowboys.
Well.
At MetLife. Monday night.
I was impressed with Cooper Rush, but I'm gonna be honest, as a Cowboy fan, I felt like because of the Bengals deficiency where they needed, we were kind of like a perfect match for them. I don't know what's gonna happen next week. I mean, I can't say that I'm walking in that one confident that the Cowboys are gonna win.
How you do it? You ain't walking in there like this?
Nah, I ain't on my Conor right now. I'm not on my Conor McGregor. I'm a little bit nervous on that. If we pull that one off, y'all need to get nervous. Everybody need to get. If Cooper pulled 2 off, y'all need to get nervous. But I can't say I'm confident. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with my Cowboys because I love that blue. You feel me? I love it. I love it.
That ain't the real blue, but I'm going with the Giants. I'm going with the Giants in spite of Daniel Jones. I just think we're at home. Yes, I think we're at home. If they learned in the second half, because they didn't give Saquon the ball. So if they learn anything like they did, feed the man the ball and see what happens, right? And then you can play off of stuff, but he's got to learn how to hit. I mean, he just drives me crazy because it's like he has no awareness of what's going on around him.
I'm confused by Dayball.
I see Saquon leaking out. Like I can see him on TV. I'm like, damn, you don't see him, you run instead. So I don't know. I'm going with my Giants. I'm definitely going. I ain't never going with the Cowboys over the Giants. So I'm definitely going with my Giants. It'll just be a very interesting game. So let's
we put a little friendly wager on it.
We can.
Well, we'll do that offline. So we ain't got to count for nothing. But
right.
If I come in happy next week, y'all know what's up. And I think I will. So let's go.
We'll see what happens. Packers and the Bucks.
The Bucks.
Really?
Even with all this stuff, Brady out here reading snaps. This dude like Nostradamus on the field. Like out here, he already know what they gonna do, and it ain't enough to me. Both teams the Packers don't have enough, and the Bucks don't have enough. I'm going with Brady.
Okay.
Why not?
I'm going with the Packers. I think the Packers look better this week than they did the first week. He was finding other players. The Bucks, they won that game because it just got out of control. The game got out of control.
Listen to me. Y'all didn't know about the secret weapon?
Who?
Cole Beasley, baby.
I know about Cole Beasley.
That old cowboy they done picked up. That's gonna be a problem. Ain't nobody game plan for Cole Beasley except for Tom Brady. He gonna adjust to it. He gonna be running around here catching pass. People gonna be playing for him and everything. They gonna squeak by another. And then Aaron Rodgers is gonna be sitting over there giving his sad press conference, talking about his he was young and all that, and everybody gonna wonder what happened. Tom Brady pulled it out because it's going to be a battle of the minds. And even though I think Aaron Rodgers is a much better talent than Tom Brady will ever be, Tom Brady just some kind of way. It's like a gin bottle or something. He got it. I'm going with the Bucks. And hell, they got Leonard Fournette run the ball. I mean,
Jones was running the ball good. Dillon was running the ball good. They were distributing the ball pretty good. I'm gonna go with the Packers. So we ain't agreeing on that one.
that's fine.
Cole Beasley. I like Cole Beasley as a player. Let's see what he does. He's got to get acclimated to all that. But I'm
Veteran.
I guess in part of it, I'm just sick of Tom Brady. I'm sick
I
of him
am
with the
too.
temper
I am too,
tantrums
but
and all
I'm
that
not.
nonsense. That
I am too. I am too.
get what you're saying.
I get tired of him throwing laptops and everything else, but I don't think the Packers have enough. Who they throwing the ball to? Who the
We had a
Packers
couple
throwing?
they was throwing
You
the
got
ball to.
Lazard and you got Cunyon and Cobb. We
That's
got
three good ones.
Perriman, right?
Yeah.
We got Perriman. You got Cole. Hell, is Cole not at the equivalent of Cobb at this point in his
Who
career?
did Rodgers have last year? Adams. That's who he was throwing the ball to. So he did it.
I
with
mean, he had a
one
whole
main
team.
guy.
He had a whole team. Adams just kept beating his guy.
Okay,
If Adams is continuously open, I'm gonna throw it to the man that's open. I love Aaron Rodgers for that. He know, hell, if Adams is open, I'm throwing Adams. Adams is the best route runner in the game, and I don't care what nobody say.
Okay.
He was constantly open, and he went to him. But I mean, all things being equal, I mean, they're pretty much their receiving core. Hell, is pretty much equal. Cunyon and Lazard and hell, who's the other guy? Cobb. Cunyon, Lazard, and Cobb.
Yeah, Cobb.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see what happens. You say pretty much equal, so we'll see what happens. All right, let's go down to the Titans and the Raiders. Who will get their first win?
Raiders.
Okay. I can't argue with that because the Titans ain't showing me nothing, so I can't even argue with that.
Listen to me. The whole Titans staff should be fired. Listen, I said that earlier. A.J. Brown gone. Corey Davis gone. What are we doing?
Yeah,
so we scrapped our team so we could build with some young guys. And okay, fine. You say, hey, we ain't got enough to get it done. Those guys can't get it done. I don't want to pay A.J. Brown. I don't want to play Corey Davis. They left. We got these young guys. We got them for 4 years. We're going to build, and we're going to build for the future.
Okay, I say the same, but I can say the same thing about the Raiders. The Raiders went out and spent all this money and did this, and this, and got all this stuff, and you can't win a game. Can't even win a home opener. You let somebody come back and beat you, with I don't know how much time left. So,
but the Raiders got a veteran.
Which ain't done nothing yet. Who hasn't done anything yet?
He had a great game in the first game. Devontae Adams had a great game. What? Listen to me. I said Devontae Adams had a great game in the first game. What did Burks and Wilson? I mean, what did Wilson? Not Wilson. What did A.J. Brown do for Philly?
I ain't talking about A.J. Brown. We don't
no. This is Titan.
I'm talking about the Raiders.
I'm talking about the Titans.
Right.
No, I'm talking about the Titans.
But you dogged the Titans out already.
Because they need to be dogged out. Okay. They dogged themselves out when they gave away their receiver.
Okay. That's gone. That's done. I'm talking about who's on the field now. And the Raiders have not proven to me.
The Raiders are a victim of their schedule. They got a tough schedule.
Arizona,
they got a tough schedule.
Arizona. Okay,
go look at the Raiders' schedule. They got a tough schedule.
I'll give them the Chargers loss. Arizona at home, and you let them come back on you like that? Come on. Don't make excuses for professionals.
The Ravens let Miami come back.
And don't make excuses. Just like we
dogged
them out.
I'm just saying the Ravens let. These things happen. The Bengals lost to the Cowboys.
We get ready to talk about the Bengals. The Bengals
things happen
the Jets.
sometimes. It's one game. It's one game.
No, it's 2 games because they lost 2.
No. I said that was one game. The other game, hell, they played the Chargers. The Chargers are no joke.
But they lost.
But hell, I didn't think. I'm gonna think that they're gonna lose both games to the Chargers because hell, the Chargers is more superior team. They're more well rounded. You got Khalil Mack and Dan Bosa running after you.
You're talking out both sides of your mouth because my veterans.
No, I'm not.
That and the other, so. Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that they are a victim of their schedule. It's not the talent on the team; it's the schedule. Oh, let's go.
Come on, the schedule, Tanisha. It's all NFL teams. Don't tell me the schedule.
Okay, so if
schedule.
You can't say that, Linda. Let's be honest, you can't say that because hell, the Patriots don't pay no damn body. They never played, and so it was a schedule thing. You kept getting there because of the schedule. The Raiders got a tough schedule this year. I'm not gonna shit on them. They got a tough schedule.
Okay, and they're gonna lose. And you went and picked up,
and they're gonna lose
all the people that they picked up. Khalil Mack, this person, Devontae Adams, and all that. So
Khalil Mack went to the Chargers.
So
I said
excuse
they
me, I'm
played
sorry.
against
They
somebody that
played against
picked up.
Khalil Mack.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you got
They didn't
Devontae
do it.
Adams and no
They
everybody
they
worried
picked
about
up
the Raiders.
Devontae. They picked up Devontae
And
Adams.
who
They
else
ain't
did they
pick up
pick up?
enough.
They got
They ain't get it.
Waller. They
They ain't
got
get enough.
Renfro.
Waller been on the
Okay.
team.
I know. But you a
They
you a Carr fan. I'm not. I ain't never thought he was gonna be able to get over the hump, but we'll see. All
we'll
right,
see.
let's go. We got the the
The
Bengals and the Jets. It's a must
Bengals.
win for the Bengals.
Bengals.
It's a must win for them. But they playing in MetLife and the Jets, they riding a little high. You got a veteran there, right? Flacco. I don't fucking know.
Bengals not going 0-3.
Okay. All
It's an
right.
easy fix when you got them type of studs on your team. They'll get it worked out. No
Okay.
doubt in my mind. Bengals.
Okay.
Next.
All right. Broncos versus 49ers.
Mm. Mm. Well, I'm gonna go with the Broncos, but I'm nervous because Nathaniel Hackett is scaring the hell out of me with his excessive timeout calling and lack of situational awareness. I don't know what the hell to say. He might be in over his head. We done seen this with coordinators before. You got what Kitchens, what Joe Judge. You got it's a lot of them that we kind of buy into it in early on, and they don't need to be head coaches. I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried. I think Russell stepped up and took over towards the end, and that's what saved them last week. They got to get something worked out. I'm not sure Nathaniel Hackett is ready to
And
be
the
a head coach.
49ers are riding the high. They got Jimmy G back. You know it. It ain't like you got to step in and learn stuff. You can't say you got a backup quarterback in there. You got a starting quarterback in there. So that one I'm looking at. Chiefs and Colts.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I call the Chiefs on that. Matt Ryan, I don't know what the hell is going on. They look a hot mess.
Well, Pittman was out. And
that's one player.
Pittman was out, but hell, all you got is damn Campbell. Mo Alice Cox. I mean, he didn't have any. I mean,
interceptions.
He looked bad.
He looked bad. He just looked bad. He looked lost. He looked bad. I'm gonna go back up. Let's talk about some suspensions because we didn't hit those.
Evans out there thinking it's WWE. Let me say something. Don't let Lattimore get in your head that much. You worried about what he did to you. That running off the damn field. I mean, running off the sidelines out here because of Tom Brady, who like to talk trash and don't like to throw punches. You done messed around and got suspended and deserve it.
Yeah, and the thing is about that, I watched his press conference and I'm like, really? He said, "Oh, Lattimore got emotional." No, you got emotional because you ran off the field. It just sounded stupid. But those two have been going at it for years, and it's always been a little chippy. And he looked for an opportunity. But the fact he said, "Oh, that's Tom Brady. What am I supposed to do?" Man, come on. Dude. You sound like the biggest punk. That's Tom Brady. What am I supposed to do?
We let Tom Brady get you suspended a game
right.
while
Let
Tom Brady got to go out here.
Own fights.
And if you looked at that huddle when that brawl was going on, Tom Brady was on the outside.
Oh,
he was nowhere
he was walking
in it.
real slow. He was walking real slow, like he was in it, but he wasn't throwing no punches. He wasn't pulling nobody because he ain't want nobody swinging on him because they knocked him out.
He was in his feelings, and it cost him his number one wide receiver. So we're gonna see how that go down.
The Bills, Bobby Hart, he's out for one game. So we got to deal with that. And then Willie Gay, this is a tricky one because he's suspended for 4 games. I think he's appealing. As a matter of fact, when we go back, Mike Evans appealed and that was not upheld. So
of course not, because he was aggressive.
And I think that's something when you go back to the Packers versus the Bucks. Yeah, they did pick up what's his name, Cole Beasley, but they will not have Mike Evans. So that's why one of the reasons I'm going for the Packers.
True story.
Didn't think about that, did you? I know I catch you. I got you. I got you. So, and Willie Gay is like 4 game. I think it's a little, I don't know. I think it's a little unreasonable, but we don't know all of what was going on because I've read multiple articles trying to find a real source and trying to find even the court papers to say what he actually did. And you can't find the data.
Well, basically what I got, kind of the gist of it is multiple incidents. Think he had a child, that baby was born, it was in an DQ. He had some issues with his baby mom, and she didn't want him to see the baby. He threw a fit at the hospital, so you have that. And I think the other thing is he broke a vacuum cleaner that belonged to her. Obviously, he didn't strike her, but he broke a vacuum cleaner. That wraps up into that whole domestic violence. And sort of the league has kind of a precedent of 4 games for domestic violence. So whether or not he hit her or whatever, that whole argument with the baby mom, it's not the first time. It's been multiple incidents. I think it's a little heavy. Considering we didn't have fisticuffs, wouldn't beatings
Yeah, they said
going on.
he pushed her down on the couch or whatever where the baby was sleeping. That's what I read. I don't know how
I think he
factual it is.
appeals in his 2 games. I
Yeah.
think he appeals and they may break it
But
down to 2 games.
I go back to Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman, the
Hold on, ladies, I got to jump in for a second. Just so he's not able to appeal. I asked Andy Reid about that on Wednesday. He said that he's not able to appeal, so he's going to be out the 4 games. He can return to the facilities in 2 weeks.
Right?
Why can't he appeal?
That's as Andy Reid said. That's a question for Brett Veach and the higher ups. But
maybe they just say don't appeal and keep moving. Appreciate you popping in on that.
All right.
That's our resident expert.
And
Smith.
He cannot appeal. So that is 4 games, and that is going to be tough for my nephew. Woo!
So we'll see. We'll see what's going on.
It's gonna be rough.
We'll see how they step up and adjust. They got a game. I think it's an adjustment game. They can do whatever adjustments they need to with the Colts game coming up.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna move on.
I think they get through that. I'm still going with the Chiefs. Yeah, they get through that. I think we're good.
And here's something we're gonna talk about. So we didn't cover the games that we want to cover. We didn't cover all of them because we ain't got that kind of time, or we don't even care about those other teams. But no, I ain't gonna say we don't care. But
no,
I want to talk about Brett Favre. And he's accused in participating in this Mississippi welfare scheme. I've looked at them. There's actual text messages where he's saying, can we make this happen? Will it get out in the public? That's what he was worried about. But Mississippi, one of the poorest states, the poorest state in the country, and you steal money from or embezzle money from the welfare system so you can give money. And all of it probably wasn't even going to where his daughter plays volleyball, but you put money in. I think that's slimy. I think it's slimy. And this ain't the first time, because we know, I'm gonna let you talk. He had got $600,000 on one occasion and $500,000 on another occasion from Mississippi to speak and never showed up. And $600,000 he paid back, but what happened to that other money?
To me, it's clear cut. What I'm upset about is the media. You can hear rat pissing on cotton, and I don't understand that. We jump on so many other stories, but Brett Favre now has sort of a habitual offender of just screwing people, and nobody has anything really to say except for Mina Himes, Shannon, and Stephen A. I really hadn't heard.
Yeah.
What I said, my bad. That's it. That's it. I'm upset. It feels like it's being swept under the rug, and I don't understand that.
No, I don't understand it either, and it just pisses me off because this is a pattern of bad behavior. So this ain't the first time or something happened, and he was aware of it. But he made and sent a text message clearly so he could cover this up to make sure that it didn't get out. His thing was, this ain't gonna get out, is it? So you knew you were doing something wrong. The last time he apologized, I wouldn't do that. I care about the community. I care about this. I care about that. Don't give a damn about himself. You're gonna steal $5 million of misappropriate funds from the welfare system to build a volleyball arena for your daughter.
Beautiful.
I just disrespect, and I think if there were anybody else, and I don't know if it's anybody else of color or whatever, they'd be trying to figure out ways how to at least put a hood over their damn shrine in the Hall of Fame.
Dude,
but we just gonna let this slide like it ain't nothing. He shouldn't show up on anything having to do with the NFL. I don't know if they have like the NFL, all of the, what do you call them? The Hall of Famers show up at events. He shouldn't be anywhere.
Dude,
he shouldn't want to show up anywher. But I'm just really disgusted by that.
Yeah, it's tomfoolery at its finest, and I'm sick of it. I really am. I'm upset with the fact that that only a few are being held accountable for their mistakes. This is blatant. Like, it is clear as cut, and I don't want to hear crap about the fact that he's Brett Favre. Hold his ass accountable like everybody else.
Yeah, he's
disgusting.
It was nothing but stealing. So I didn't want to give him no airtime at all, but I just didn't think it was something that we could look over.
Well, you can't let that
So,
slide.
no,
We're
you
gonna be
cannot let it
different than
slide.
anybody else.
That's right. So we'll see what comes. I hope he gets what he deserves. They do the right thing and let the investigation. I mean, follow the money and follow all that other stuff. But if you did wrong, you did wrong, and it's obvious that he did wrong in my eyes. So, Tanisha, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna roll. What you got? Let's give me your closing thoughts.
Closing thought. I'm really excited about the Bills Dolphin game. I know I'm wrong, but I'm really excited about that because you're talking about a team, Bills, that are expected to win it all. And you're talking about another team where Tua is trying to prove that he is worthy to be an NFL quarterback. And not only is he worthy, he's got the goods to take his team over the hump. So I'm really excited about that game. That's the game that I'm stoked about. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm looking forward to it. I do think the Bills are going to win, but man, I think that it's going to be a hell of a game. We've had some great games in the last week, and I think this will not disappoint. I'm happy. I'm really excited about that game. That's my thought of the week. Y'all better tune in because them Dolphins not finna roll over. Yeah, I know everybody think the Bills has got it, locked up, but I think the Dolphins are going to go out there and put up a hell of a fight, and we're going to see what they're made of, and we're also going to see what maybe a year from down the line what they can add to get that where they need to be. So I'm excited about that game. Yep.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna close. My closing thoughts are gonna be on the owner of the Phoenix Suns, Robert Sarsi. Now he's up to sell the team because he was fined $10 million, suspended for a year for using some derogatory terms. And I think he decided to sell. I don't know what the back office conversations were or whatever, but I think if owners are saying things like that, yeah, they need to be forced to sell. So the fact that he decided to sell, I'm glad that he's gone because those are just not racial remarks, derogatory remarks. Just because you got that money, they think you can just say or do anything or treat people any kind of way. So I'm glad to see him going. Don't know if the NBA said, hey, you can walk out on your own and sell this team, or we're going to make you sell this team. So I'm glad that that's happened. That's my thought for the week. So I'm following that story closely to see what's going on. But
yeah, good riddance. Good riddance.
Yeah. So
I'm not even gonna lie. Good riddance. I'm happy he's selling.
As we always say, if we're talking about it,
you need to hear about it.
Yep. And the other thing, I'm always going to shout these folks out. So I have got to shout out the Blue Wave. People get out there and vote. There are some crazies that we have in office. There's some stuff that's going on that's just horrible, dropping, immigrants off from people's back doors, just taking them, putting them on buses and treating them like their cargo. Things like that to me are just unacceptable. I don't care who you are, where you came from, how you got here.
These are humans.
Unacceptable. They're human beings. Treat them as such. So until next time, folks, please remember it's free. Do it. Be kind. Be blessed.
Covering Black America Podcast Network.